All right, we are live following a 6-1 Toronto Blue Jays victory in Game 5 of the World Series over the Los Angeles Dodgers. Mac, the Blue Jays just took a 3-2 lead in the World Series. They're 3-2 going home. This is awesome. Thank you, Chris, for giving me the words, because honestly, at this point, I'm a little bit at a loss. There's so much to get into from this game, from Trey Savage to like the relentlessness of this offense against one of the best pitchers in baseball in Blake Snell. And I just want to say, I just want to know what you have to say, because I had no fun watching that game, but also so much fun at the same time.
Yeah, I really enjoyed this one. Like having that lead, just it felt like a comfortable playoff game in a way. Um, I'm just in a little bit of disbelief, to be honest with you. We're not too far removed from that 18 inning loss. You're down 2-1. It was really hard to envision a path to where the series is 3-2 going home now with two chances to win the World Series. So, um, yeah, it just a bit of disbelief in what we've seen out of Trey Savage tonight. Stuff that's just never been done. So it's hard to speak to, but just an incredible performance from him, and the Jays are one win away.
Unreal. Probably, and this I have a young, relatively a young experience watching the World Series. I bet you that is one of the best World Series pitching performances of all time, and certainly the best rookie pitching performance in the World Series of all time that we saw from
Yeah.
Trey Savage. I think we could do this entire live stream talking about him. There's so much to get into here. Like, this team is absolutely unreal, and yeah, we've made it 2 minutes here without mentioning that the Jays are missing their best hitter by most statistical categories this season in George Springer. They won both of these games without him, and yeah, they're up 3-2 in the World Series, coming home, two chances to pick up one win at Rogers Center. Unreal. Like, Mac, man, unreal.
Yeah, it's with Trey. This start was as big as Bieber's yesterday because Bieber pushes it to 2-2, but now you're staring going back down 3-2 with Yamamoto in game six. That's not a very comfortable situation. So in his eighth major league start, right? Like, we keep hearing these stats over and over again, but his eighth major league start, Trey Savage breaks Don Newcomb's rookie record for strikeouts in a World Series game. And he's the only pitcher in a World Series game to strike 12 guys out without walking anybody. He struck everyone out in that Dodgers lineup tonight. Everything he held, the fastball was really, really good. Um, I don't know how to speak to this. I don't feel qualified. I don't think any of us are qualified to talk about what Trey Savage did tonight. Sandy Koufax was in the ballpark. He could probably speak to it. That's how historical this was. Just incredible performance. Anything you could have asked for him, you got that and more tonight. And now you have an opportunity to win the World Series at home in game six.
It's insane that this is the performance we got. I said on last night's version of the stream, if Trey Savage came out with this splitter, that the Dodgers could be in trouble and things could get funky. And let me tell you, Trey Savage came out with his splitter and things got funky on the Dodgers. He was unreal. It wasn't even just the 12 strikeouts. Like, the 12 strikeouts, obviously a career high for him. Obviously set the World Series record for a rookie. And but the biggest thing for me is, like, Dodgers managed just three hard hit balls. They only had three hits. Two of them stayed on the infield. Obviously, that Kike Hernandez homer was mashed, and he sold out on a heater up in the zone, which is going to happen. And turns out didn't really burn you that bad in a game you win 6-1. Yeah, he was unreal. Just like the entire performance, start to finish. Carly mentioned it earlier that jumping out to the early lead was so critical for him. It really allowed him to attack Ohtani, attack the zone instead of trying to get too cute. You did see it at times with him where he'd get up 0-2 or 1-2 and then try and throw his best pitch of the night, overcook something because he's trying not to get burned. I think pitching with the lead really let him settle in and like attack and give his best pitch every time.
Yeah, jumping out to the lead tonight was a huge part in this ball game. It helped with the comfort level watching. I'm sure it did playing as well, and definitely helps Savage go out there. He's got a bit of a cushion now to start the game with, and he just kind of got stronger as it went along. The Dodgers just were completely flummoxed by him today. They were guessing at the plate, which you almost have to do when a guy's throwing 3 pitches. So money, just A+ stuff tonight from him, just as good as we've seen him. And every start he's made, it's been, oh, we've never seen this before, and this is a new bar he's setting for himself. And tonight, the biggest bar he's had to face, the biggest start he may ever get in his career. To be honest with you, guys don't even get this opportunity. They'll pitch 15 years, and he rise to it. He outpitched Blake Snell, who is one of the best pitchers in the game. He won the game for the Toronto Blue Jays. Large part was because of the starting pitching performance tonight. It's definitely one we'll be talking about forever. This is one of the greatest, if not the greatest, start by a Blue Jay and in a playoff game, and just tremendous stuff from Trey. It's the stuff of legends. His whole postseason run, his ever since he's been called up, this has been the making of something special. And tonight was a bit of a payoff for that. Just incredible.
Yeah, a couple more notes on Trey. Also, a ridiculous stat: 12 is the most strikeouts without a walk in World Series history. That's from the broadcast.
Yeah.
So if you're watching the game, maybe that's getting repeated for you. But like, I think that's just like an unreal stat. First time in World Series history that somebody struck out 12 without issuing a walk. He pounded the zone. He got 23 whiffs and 19 called strikes. That's a 40% called strike and whiff percentage. That's ridiculous. In the World Series and against one of the best offensive teams in baseball, I think the Dodgers had the second best offense in baseball in the regular season. Just unreal. As I mentioned earlier, only gave up 3 hard hit balls. That's ridiculous. This is a lineup with Shohei Ohtani, Mookie Betts, Freddie Freeman, and Will Smith in between them. Don't forget Teoscar Hernandez. And I know you guys all just have seen 5 games of this series, and you don't need me to name off all the Dodgers, but I think like setting the context for what Trey did, like he didn't do this against the Pirates in July. He did this in the World Series. This is a start that like we talk about for a week if it happens in July against the Pirates, but it happened in the World Series against the Dodgers and put the Jays on the brink. It's unreal, man. Like I could genuinely, I have chills talking about it. Like I think I'm gonna cry one day telling my kids about this start. Just unreal stuff, man.
Yeah, like I said, it feels hard to talk about because I don't feel qualified to. Like it's really hard to talk about what we just witnessed. It's something that hasn't been done ever in the history of the sport. What his rise has been, and some of the stats that he put up tonight speak to that, right? Breaking Don Newcomb's record, being the only pitcher to throw 12 strikeouts with no walks, 7 inning performance. I think we would have been happy with 5, with 6 with him,
I
and
would
he
have been
just
happy
kept
if he
going.
got through the order twice and gave up 3 runs. Like
Yeah, and when that
5.
order came around a third time, there was no question that he was going to remain in the ball game and continue to pitch, and he was going to pitch as much as he could tonight. And I think they ran him as long as they could, and I was so happy, man, to see him get that double play ball. I celebrated that double play ball as much as any play this postseason, because it was just great to see him be able to get a clean 7 innings off and just have a clean line to speak to what he did tonight, which is just pretty much unspeakable.
He was awesome. Like some of the best pitching I've ever seen. Period. His stuff is filthy. Yeah, he got up to 104 pitches, which is a career high, through 71 strikes. This is a swing and miss guy. This is a guy that is trying to get you to chase. And he threw just under 70% strikes. Just crazy, man. Crazy. Wheat wants to
Yeah,
know
and
if we
where he
have any.
was,
Yeah.
and just like where he was tonight, like he was just living on the corners, like so many strikes, catching just the edge of the zone, sitting guys down with that stuff, and just some really good breaking stuff. Fifth innings, probably the
We might have lost Mac here, but that's all right. We'll give him a second. Um, yeah, so we did question any thoughts on the decisions by Roberts tonight, both lineup and pitching changes. And yeah, I thought it was very, very interesting. They moved Smith up in the lineup. He's in the 2 spot now. Um, Obviously, separating Otani, Betts, and Freeman a little bit there. And I didn't really love it. I think like Will Smith has not really shown me too much. He's got a 684 OPS in the postseason, including tonight. And obviously, overall, like, didn't really work. The Dodgers ended up with 15 strikeouts on the night. And yeah, like, I think I really don't know what the Dodgers do. Obviously, like, hats off to Trey and the Blue Jays pitching staff for what they've been able to do. Basically, the last, I guess we can call it 3 games because like those extra inning performances from Eric Lauer in the bullpen in game 3 of this series, the first game in LA. Obviously, what Shane Bieber was able to do last night, and then obviously Trey Savage tonight. The pitching changes was a little bit curious. Obviously, Snell is kind of like their starting pitching is their only option. He like the starting pitchers are plan A, B, and C. And I think that once the starting pitching gets out of the game, there is just no confidence in that bullpen, and it feels like there's no confidence in that bullpen. And I think the bullpen knows that there's no confidence in them as well, because Blake Snell was allowed to throw 116 pitches tonight. He only threw 69 strikes. He was behind a lot in a lot of counts. There was a lot of really deep counts. And the Jays at bats, they didn't do a lot of damage outside the first inning, like Vladimir Guerrero Jr. and Davis Schneider. Obviously, we're going to touch on that. Hopefully, we can get Mac back in here shortly. But obviously, seeing Vladimir Guerrero Jr. and Davis Schneider start off the game with 2 homers was pretty just special in general. But then, yeah, like Wheat mentions it here, like the first guy out of the pen is their 4th or 5th best arm, and it was very strange. I think there's just not a lot of guys in there that they feel comfortable with, and I think that has a lot to do with it. Hopefully, Max back in here. Yeah, there we go. We got you. Perfect. So we're just talking about
Where are we at?
we're talking about Edgardo Enriquez coming in. He obviously maybe their 4th or 5th best arm. We don't really know, or well, I don't really know the Dodgers bullpen like the back of my hand, like I know the Jays bullpen. Obviously, the stuff is really good. He's throwing smoke, but really just did not have it tonight. He didn't didn't get an out. Gave up a hit, 2 walks allowed, both inherited runners to score, and 2 wild pitches. One of the inherited runners on a wild pitch. What'd you think?
Um, like they've been saying all series, get to the Dodgers bullpen, right? And tonight they've kind of barfed one up, and it's just Roberts doesn't have much options down there, and Henriquez, I pitched at some point in that 18 inning marathon. I can't remember what off the top of my head, but he was part of the group that kind of shut the Jays down
He
for the
kind of earned
most part.
himself
So
this appearance, I think, right? Like in that 18
yeah,
inning game.
yeah, and so I mean, who do you go to in that situation? Is it Trinan there? I the only name I could think of was maybe Sasaki, but going back, Sasaki's never come into an inning before in the middle of the inning, not in his major league career this season. So that's maybe a guy that they wanted to wait to bring in the clean inning when it rolled over to the 8th. But yeah, I they don't have a whole lot of options, and this is where the Dodgers bullpen struggles is with their command, and it's not a question of their stuff. They throw hard. They've got good stuff, but really just command. And tonight that really bit them with Enriquez came in, walked some guys, balls in the dirt pretty much all night, 6th inning on, even towards the end of Snell's night. So yeah, I think it was just that the Jays executed their game plan, right? They got Blake Snell out of the game in the 7th, much as they did in game 1, and they got into that Dodgers bullpen, and that was a reward for getting into it. Roberts, pretty questionable decisions tonight a few times. That may be one of them, but he really doesn't have a whole lot to deal from his deck.
No. Yeah, I thought it probably should have been Sasaki or Trinan. Obviously, at that point, It's the seventh inning. There's already 2 outs, so you need to collect 7 outs if you're the Dodgers. Is basically how you're thinking. And I thought they were honestly going to go Sasaki for all 7 with the day off tomorrow. And that's a guy that, like, based on what I've seen, he's very, very capable of that. And I was a little bit surprised that it was Enriquez, and obviously they paid the price for it.
Yeah, and I think I'm just speculating that's the reason why they didn't bring Sasaki in, was just that they didn't want to bring him in mid-inning. But you've got to, and Toronto's a great example of this, you've got to ask guys to pitch out of their element in the postseason if you want to win ball games. Chris Bassett did it back-to-back nights, pitched really well. That's not something he's planning on doing all season, but he came in and did his job. So any hesitation you have, tonight was a 2-2 game. That was a very, very high leverage situation, one that Toronto was able to kind of blow the game open with. So you've really, really got to put any doubt in your mind, if that does exist, about bringing Sasaki in mid-inning away there and bring him in. That should have been the game plan tonight from them, was Snell followed by Sasaki. But by the time they had a chance to maybe bring him in, Toronto's blown the game open, and we had Banda in the ball game, and Trinan came in after.
Based on what they were asking Snell to do, like I mentioned it when you were out of here, 116 pitches,
Mm-hmm.
deep in the seventh. They let him continue pitching the seventh after he got 2 base runners on. Like I think that clearly was the plan, to go Snell straight to Sasaki for 6 outs. And it's a really hard way to win a baseball game against a team like the Blue Jays, who continue to have relentless at bats and really just are. Again, I think the word that we've been saying all year is relentless. Like they are just, like, obviously not impossible, but so hard to get out, and they don't make easy outs. The Dodgers struck out 15 times tonight. The Blue Jays struck out 7. Like that's half as many, less than half as many, right? Like that's insane. Ziggy, I think we got this comment from Ziggy after Game 1, and that's, what do the Jays have to do to get to Yamamoto in Game 6? And we're a little bit early for this question, I think. There's so much more in this game I want to get to, but it's an awesome question. And the reason I'm kind of rambling a little bit here is because I don't know. He was really, really, and I'm going to mix in one more, really good in Game 2. And I think you're going to have to get into the bullpen to beat Yamamoto. What do you think?
Yeah, he was like Johnny Football at Gabo's at that Marichal Sherry Bar. He was so good that game, and I don't know what they're going to be able to do to get to him in Game 6. It- It's just, you got to hope. Playoff baseball, you're coming back home, World Series. Energy is going to be different in that building, and hopefully you just find a way to get to him. You found a way to get to Blake Snell tonight with those back-to-back home runs to lead off the game. You really take those home runs away, ball game's a lot different. Blake Snell pitched really, really good tonight. Dave Roberts did a good job leaving him in the ball game. So I don't know. There's no game plan to beat Yamamoto. Nobody's been able to do it in the postseason yet. Um, you just gotta hope. You just need one more game. All it takes is one at bat, a couple of at bats, and hopefully get a really good start from Kevin Gausman. Gausman needs to do exactly the same and match Yamamoto to give the Jays a chance.
Yeah, I think if we're gonna devise a little bit of a game plan here, or at least like a series of events that get this job done, I think it's, you got to get to him early. Like we saw with Snell tonight, like Jays got to him early and then they let him settle in. They still let him pitch in the seventh, right? And like the at bats were good. They made him throw 116 pitches over those 6 2/3 innings, and they eventually did end up getting to Snell. Like obviously the final line: 6 2/3, 6 hits, 5 earned, 4 walks, 7 Ks. As I mentioned, 116 pitches. That's a lot of pitches, especially in 2025 when pitchers aren't really asked to do that anymore. He looked exhausted, man. Like the bags under his eyes. Like I think like a picture of Blake Snell is kind of like what it's like what it's been like to face the Jays all season. Just exhausting for opposing pitchers and teams in general. Curious note on Snell that I have here. He gave up home runs on the first pitch of the game and the third pitch of the game to Davis Schneider and Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Both of those were on fastballs. From there on, he only threw 23% fastballs. He only threw 23% fastballs for the game, including both those homers. His season average on fastballs is 44%, so we cut that in half. I think Snell did a really good job adjusting to the Jays' game plan, and I think obviously Jays got to him in the end, but could have got dicey there if they weren't able to, or if Roberts went to his bullpen a little bit earlier or anything like that.
Yeah, it was interesting kind of hearing Blake Snell before the game. He was talking about making adjustments, and he was confident in the adjustments he made to prepare himself for this start from his game one start. And 3 pitches into the game, you've taken him back to back, and he made a further adjustment, or maybe he was just trying to get ahead with his fastball a bit in the first inning and fell off of it. But whatever he did, I mean, Yasevich did what he did tonight, but Snell wasn't cold soup either. Like, he pitched really, really good. He settled down from that, threw some really good breaking pitches, and the Jays didn't look good for a few innings there either. But the Jays did the important thing of continuing to grind at bats. They made sure to make him throw some pitches in a few of those innings, and you got to that point in the ball game, much like you did in the first game. You had a chance to not bring him out in the 7th inning, and again, you kind of broke the game open from there.
Yeah, really busted it open against Enriquez, as we covered earlier. I think on the offensive side, like Davis Schneider and Vlad Guerrero, I think we can get to. But like the number one guy I want to touch on, I think he headlined this game, and I was really, I don't know how I felt seeing his name in the lineup when it came out at like 6 o'clock, just 2 hours before game time, which is kind of ridiculous. Obviously, we were waiting on a George Springer decision there. Aside from that, Addison Barger was I don't have his final line here right now, but against Snell, he was on base all 3 times, 2 for 2 with a walk. He had a 69 weighted runs created plus coming into or in the regular season against lefties. 69 weighted runs created plus against lefties in the regular season for Addison Barger, and he had awesome at bats all night. He was focused. He was on everything. He didn't miss his pitches, and he worked a really tough walk there as well. What did you see from him that you liked?
Yeah, I mean, I had David Schneider leading off last night when we talked, so I'll take some credit for that. But in saying that, I'm gonna also say I had Miles Straw in the lineup over Addison Barger, so I'll eat my crow while I'm at it too. I didn't want Addison Barger in there against the lefty today. I thought Snell could potentially carve him up and throw him off his game, and I didn't really think that was a risk I was willing to take. But I am glad John Schneider put him in the lineup. Great at bats. He got some hits tonight. He's an everyday player for you now. If that hasn't been apparent for a little while, he's gonna be in the lineup now, regardless, for these final 2 games. And the things that impressed me most about Addison Barger tonight weren't even at the plate. Huge catch in the outfield in the 7th inning on Shohei Ohtani. That inning can go any numbers of sideways on the Blue Jays and Trey Yasevich if they don't get Ohtani out to lead off that inning. And that's a situation we talked about where he's been coming out of ball games late. Why? If he's producing at the plate, he's still making those plays defensively and then running the bases after. Just the clinic of taking 90 feet
Yep.
every 90 feet at a time against the Dodgers on wild pitches. It was a great read, second to third on a ball that really didn't get too far from Will Smith, but he's seen Smith having a real hard time locating that ball, takes third base, and then is able to score on the wild pitch. So I just thought Barger's, the base running, diving, catch were 2 outstanding plays and just exactly why we want him in the lineup.
Yeah, you're 100% correct on that. I think Barger is playing with so much confidence. Like he's like just like the aura around him. Like I feel comfortable when he comes to the plate. This is a guy that did not make the major league roster out of spring training, by the way. We didn't see him until May. Like this is a guy that was not written off. He's 25 years old and obviously has the most tools out of anybody I've ever seen, not named Vladimir Guerrero Jr., that has put on a Blue Jays uniform. But like aside from that, like just playing with so much confidence, and he's hot at the exact correct time. He's hitting 346 in the playoffs now, which is that's nothing to sneeze at. And then obviously his OPS to mix along with that, 972, so close to 1,000 there. Obviously, we know Barger's a power guy, and he can get to the power. And I think in the at bats where he's not getting to his power, he's done it like it's just such a good job of keeping his at bats competitive and like getting a job done when it needs to get done. He's running the bases well, as you mentioned, like taking advantage of 2 wild pitches. Will Smith not exactly putting on a defensive clinic back there, and then Obviously, that diving catch, that ball by Shohei was hit 117 miles an hour off
Yeah.
Trey Savage. It was mushed, and Barger made a hell of a play to go and get that. Really, really loving what I'm seeing from Addison Barger. I think the only way to go from there is probably to the best offensive performer in the postseason so far. You know who it is. It's Vladimir Guerrero Jr. He was just 1 for 3 tonight, only on base 3 times because he mixed in 2 walks. Obviously, that one is a home run in the first inning, going back to back with Davis Schneider. What'd you see from Vlad? I know it was good.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like continuing to be the best offensive performer on the Blue Jays and a critical one at that. Big home run today. That's his hardest hit home run of the season, and you can believe it when he hit that. So another big home run. That's his 8th home run now of the postseason. It's a Jays record. It has been since his 7th. And just not enough good things to say about Vladimir Guerrero. I've seen today too. This is like his best stretch as a Blue Jay this postseason. If you were to take it as a 16-game stretch, his slash line, his home run production, it's as good as it's been. So, what a time for him to step up. He has been doing that. He did that all year. He's become a household name for a reason. But this postseason, stepping up and giving the performance he is to put the Jays a win from the World Series, just great. And Weedy said, like, there's been so many giftable moments of this postseason, and him getting that ground ball and slapping the bag with his bare hand, that was awesome. Like, just great stuff. Like, when you just see your best player doing things like that, just adding a little character to the game, it's great. And Vladdy's just been indispensable this postseason. There's been a lot of great pitching performances. Guys have been stepping up throughout the lineup. None of it works if Vladimir Guerrero's not doing what he's doing.
Yeah, just whenever I start to doubt the team a little bit, like over the last month, kind of like, oh, like there's so many things going against us. Everyone's hurt. Oh no, like we have a rookie starting again tomorrow. What is Chris Bassett possibly going to give you out of the bullpen, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. The list goes on and on and on. It's been really nice to kind of like be able to sit back, take a deep breath, and be like, you know what, we have Vladimir Guerrero Jr. on our team, and he's probably got us tonight. And more often than not in the postseason, he has. You mentioned it was his hardest bat speed, his hardest swing on a home run
Okay.
this season.
Okay.
Not his hardest exit velocity, 87.4 mile an hour bat speed on the home run. That's silly. Like Shohei Ohtani is like a low 80s guy on average. Vlad up into the high 80s with that swing. Yeah, ridiculous stuff we're seeing from him. You want to get to Davis Schneider? Like Davis Schneider was a guy that came in ice cold in the playoffs, and like one of the few guys that's been ice cold. There's literally probably just been him, IKF, even like, and maybe you can mix in Jimenez that like you don't really want to play Straw, I guess. Like not many guys you don't feel comfortable with in a big spot right now. Davis Schneider was one of those guys coming in this game. Gets tasked with the leadoff spot against Blake Snell, and what does he do except for hit a wall scraper, but a huge home run for the vibes, monstrous home run for the vibes to lead off this ball game, set the tone, really take the air out of the stadium. Just like everybody does it, man.
Yeah, I had to look extra hard, make sure Alex called and come out with that ball. Like you said, it was a ball scraper,
I
but
thought he
first
caught
pitch
it.
of the
I
game,
thought he did.
I thought so too. Like it certainly looked like it, but got to give credit to John Schneider for trusting his guys. This is a spot that David Schneider's been asked to be in a lot this year, to bat top of the order against lefties, not necessarily always lead off, but at the top of the order. And without Springer today, that was the decision that was made, and he was rewarded with some good at bats and the home run. It was huge. Him and Vladdy going back to back in this game started the game off well for the Jays, and they didn't really relinquish how that went. So Davis Schneider starting the game with a home run, huge, great game from him, and great job by Schneider, just continuing to put guys that have been successful in situations all year in them in the postseason.
Yeah, and I think like just to dig into that a little bit more, and I know this has been covered. Um, like to the point where it makes me a little bit nauseous at the fact that like everybody on this team does it every night, and it takes 9 guys, and it's 9 versus 1, and all 26 guys on the roster. But like it's still correct. It's not like just like speaking in cliches and like saying it because it sounds good. Because there were 6 runs scored by the Jays tonight. 5 guys had 1 RBI. Then the other run came in on a wild pitch. It was Addison Barger scoring there. Like everybody every night, like somebody is going to contribute, and you just gotta sit back and like take your time and just let it happen because it's going to happen, and like it genuinely feels like it's inevitable that somebody is going to come through in a big spot.
Yeah, and they're getting stuff all down the order, like you said. How many big hits has Ernie Clement had in the postseason? How many big hits has Andre Jimenez had in the postseason? It's just throughout, no matter who's coming to the plate or what situation. Toronto's ever since game 2 of the Seattle series, where they really stunk the joint up at home, their offense has responded and done very well. Great production throughout the lineup and throughout the game. And it just seems like every inning when the first guy gets on base, there's just that potential for that match to be lit for Toronto, just to put a bit of a crooked number up on the board. And tonight, again, just kind of a not as many runs as some of the bigger innings have been lately, but one that busted the game open. It was a very tight ball game. What happens when you get the pitching performances you got out of Yasevich and Snell, and Toronto was able to bust the game open just how they've done it all year, just good base running, timely hitting, and getting it all throughout the lineup.
Yeah, all throughout the lineup. It's so like interesting watching the game through the eyes of like a neutral fan because my roommate, he's a Cleveland Guardians fan and he knows baseball. Like, he's a big baseball guy. He writes a Cleveland Guardians blog. I don't know what kind of guy from Toronto is a Cleveland Guardians fan. Like that's aside from the point. But after that big 7th inning that the Jays had, cash in a couple more runs, really blow open the game. I think it was 5-1 at that point. He went to take a shower, and I was like, dude, where are you going? Like, this is like the most intense game in the season. He's like, bro, like, come on. Like, he was like, you can breathe. I'm like, no way. But like, that's what the Jays have been doing to teams and like really just suffocating them. And like to the point where my roommate felt comfortable enough to go take a shower in the 7th inning. And this is not a guy that like wants to miss big moments and miss baseball games. Like, he was like, you know what? I feel good about where the Jays are right now. I can go take a shower. Insane, man. Like, I just thought that was a super interesting point of view from like a neutral fan.
Yeah, I wish I could have some of that comfort. I was cussing Jeff Hoffman out till the final out. So, um, yeah, it just what a ball game tonight. One win away from a World Series, just incredible. Can't believe I'm saying those words. I can't believe we're gonna have that opportunity to watch the game Friday. Gonna be a hell of a game Friday, right? You're gonna have to do it against the best. Yamamoto to me is the best pitcher going in baseball right now, and you're gonna have to find a way that nobody else has been able to in the postseason. Find a way to get to him, but that's what the Jays have done all year. They've went after both guys who might win MVP this year. They beat Judge and the Yankees. They beat Raleigh in Seattle. They've beat some really good pitchers on both those squads. They've been beating Otani. They've been beating the Dodgers lineup here so far. And now you've got to slay one more guy, and that's going to be Yamamoto in game 6. And you've rewarded yourself with a fallback in a game 7 at home. You've guaranteed that now with rallying with these 2 wins after that 18-inning loss. So really excited. Jays are 9 innings away from 27 outs from winning a World Series, and hopefully they get it done Friday.
Yeah, that doesn't really sound real coming out of your mouth. Like kind
It
of just want
doesn't.
to plug my ears at like hearing that. I like, wow, that's insane. Yeah, I'm hoping it. Well, I don't even know. Like, whatever happens, I think is gonna happen. Wow, yeah, you kind of got me rattled saying those words. I can't lie, Mac. Oh my
It's
goodness.
yeah. I mean, it's crazy to say. I can't believe I'm saying it either, and I feel like I'm kind of underselling even when I talk about it, kind of how excited I am about it. It's really hard to wrap your head around. The Jays teams me and you have grown up, our generation, never were in this spot. You rarely got September baseball that was exciting and meaningful. And here you are 27 outs away. 2 chances to win the World Series at home. So it's incredible, and it's incredible how they've gotten here, the performance they got tonight, the performances they got last night. They have put themselves in a position. They have just straight up beat the LA Dodgers these last 2 nights, given themselves a 3-2 lead when they had every reason in the world this series could be over. A lot of teams would roll over after losing that 18-inning game. You're down 2-1 in the series, you out of pitching. Dodgers very well could have been raising that trophy up on their home field tonight. Toronto Blue Jays fight, and not only fight, they thoroughly beat the LA Dodgers these last 2 games. And tonight, just another great performance from everyone. And now you got that chance to win it all.
Insane, man. Yeah, all the Jays have done all season is at least all postseason is slay Giants, beat the New York Yankees, obviously, took down the Seattle Mariners, and now one win away from taking down the Los Angeles Dodgers. By the way, those are the 3 teams that had better offenses than the Blue Jays this season. The Jays have faced all 3 of those teams, and they're 1 win away from beating all 3 of those teams. Carly wants to know what we want from Gaz in Game 6, and that is an incredible question. I think the same formula that we've been following, at least for me, like give me 4 2/3, like get me through the order twice, keep me in a ball game, and see what the offense can do. See if the offense can get to Yamamoto. I think keep me in this ball game. What do you think? Anything specific?
Oh, I mean, nothing that I don't trust Kevin Gosman's not going to just go out and do. I think definitely getting some innings and length from him is going to be important in Game 6, just so you have a chance to finish that game off or have everyone available for the next night too. So Gosman definitely need to have a start that gets into that 4th, 5th, 6th inning. And again, that's something that I'm just comfortable expecting that Kevin Gosman is going to do. Keep him in the ball game. Another thing I'm comfortable with him doing. But that's going to be really important because runs are going to be very, very hard to come by Friday night. So Kevin Gosman just needs to do the job that he's been doing lately and just limiting the amount of damage that's been done off of him, pitching really well and pitching deep into ball games.
Yeah. Yeah, just keep doing what you've been doing, guys. I know it hasn't really worked out, and I'm the last person that's going to put any weight into pitchers' wins and losses. But the only win he has was out of the bullpen in Game 7. That's the only win he's picked up in the postseason. So Jays have not really backed up his awesome performances with the bats.
No.
Obviously, I think run support is among the least convincing trends in baseball. Is not really something that holds up over large sample sizes. And I'm hoping that, and I'm thinking that it's not going to hold up in Game 6 here. I mentioned earlier, all Jays have done is slay Giants. Yamamoto's one more Giant. Go get to him. Just do it. Go punch him in the face early. And I know that's not how baseball works. I know we're definitely in for some more drama in this series, man. Like I am not sure of much, and I'm certainly not sure, or I'm certainly sure that the Dodgers are not going to go down without a fight. The Dodgers are going to be giving you their best right hook in Game 6 and maybe a Game 7. So, like I think I mentioned it a couple nights ago, maybe last night, that Jays are going to need a miracle, and I think that they've gotten 2 so far, and I think one more might be in store for us. And man, it sounds just insane for me to be saying that at this point in the season. It's October 29th and the Jays are still playing baseball. Just awesome.
I wonder if Dave Roberts is going to try to fix his lineup again and drop Freddie Freeman even further down the lineup. I was really confused by that. Why dropping Mookie Betts in the order of the solution to deal with a struggling Mookie Betts is to give less at bats to Freddie Freeman. I know he struck out 3 times tonight, but yeah, I haven't been all that impressed with Dave Roberts this series for all I've heard about him. And I thought that lineup decision was a little confusing tonight.
Well, my other roommate says Dave Roberts has the easiest job in baseball, or easiest job in the world, as manager of the Dodgers. All he has to do is write Hall of Famers' names down on the lineup card and sit back and chew sunflower seeds. But I can't lie, through 5 games of this series, he's making it look kind of difficult. I don't know what the Dodgers do with that lineup in Game 6. It'll be definitely like interesting to me. what they do. I think the adjustment kind of felt like a little bit of panic. Obviously, taking Bajas out, maybe something that needed to happen for Call. Not that Call's at bats looked much better tonight,
Yeah.
to me. But like I think, yeah, like I don't hate bumping Will Smith up, but it's not like he's exactly setting the world on fire right now. And then like yeah, like taking at bats away from Freddie Freeman. Like I think I don't know. I'm not going to tell Dave Roberts what to do with his lineup. He's making a lot of money to do that, but I think like obviously you've won 3 games in the series so far, but the Dodgers look vulnerable, and like making lineup adjustments in a game 5 makes them look even more vulnerable.
Just seems strange to me.
Yeah.
Like if I don't know, George Springer's struggling and you want to move him down the order, is John Schneider going to drop Vladimir Guerrero to accommodate that?
Hell
It
no.
just seemed like something that you're doing. Just I don't know. And if you're avoiding trying to split the lefties up, like you're in Game 5 of the World Series and you're scared of Mason Fluharty, like, come on, man. But
Oh man.
yeah, we'll see what Roberts has. I don't really care what lineup he writes down. I don't care where he lists his Hall of Famers or whatever. Game 6 is going to come down to what the Jays can do against Yamamoto, and you just got to feel confident. The Toronto Blue Jays are playing the best baseball they have all season right now. They're running. Everyone's doing really, really well at the plate, and you just got to trust that they're going to find a way to do it one more time.
Gotta trust, man. And it might take a minor miracle to get it done. It might take a major miracle to get it done. But at the end of the day, all this team has done is receive miracles, and why not one more? Why not one more?
Absolutely. It's going to be a blast Friday. I can't wait.
Yeah. Do you have anything else here? I know we're a little bit shorter tonight, but we had a quick game, kind of like Trey Savage gave us a lot of helium, and it was pretty easy to talk about him for a while. Not much as far as bullpen decisions or lineup decisions. Like,
Yeah, man. Like I kind of feel like I've talked 40 minutes too long already. Like Trey Savage's performance tonight spoke for itself, and that's all that this game needs to be remembered for is his performance. And the Jays did a great job supporting him, getting some timely runs, making some big plays behind him. But this was his ball game. It's one that's going to go down in baseball history. Not even sounding strange saying that. It is just one that's going to go down in the history books. One we'll always remember as Blue Jay fans for sure.
yeah.
And yeah, just want to bask in his night a little bit.
Yeah, it's very nice to bask in his night. I'm a little bit disappointed that we get a day off tomorrow. Like I kind of want them to play right now, like just
Oh,
like
I'm good with the day off, dude. I'm so
oh,
tired. I need a day off from this. I
I'm
can't even
tired
imagine what
too.
those guys are feeling like, but I need a day off from this. I don't even care what garbage Thursday night football is on tomorrow night. I will gladly watch 4 quarters of that and just forget about baseball for 24 hours.
You're different than me because like Jays need one more win to get the job done, and don't get me wrong, like the job is far from over here. Like it's going to take an absolute war to pick up one more win here, and none of these 3 wins in this series, none of the 10 other wins that the Jays have had in this postseason mean anything. I think tonight was their 104th win. None of those wins mean anything if you can't pick up one more. And that's kind of a bad way to put it. Like I think even if the Jays don't get one more, and we're going to knock on wood very heavily there, that this season has just been an awesome, awesome experience. Getting to talk about all these games with you after however many of these streams we've done has been an absolute pleasure. It's been a joy. And this team has been an absolute joy. And I think there's only one way that this season deserves to end and can end. And I think on that note, I'm ready to get out of here. And I guess we'll talk Friday, hopefully, after one more Blue Jays victory. All right. So thank you to everybody who tuned in to Jay Center's live stream following a, what was it, 6-1 Blue Jays victory over the Los Angeles Dodgers in Game 5 of the World Series. I've been Owen Hill talking with Mac, and thank you so much for tuning in. We've had so much fun breaking this down. I hope you guys have had fun watching the Jays and hanging out with us after these games. I know we've had a lot of fun. So hopefully we have some good news to tell you guys, and we can all maybe celebrate a little bit together on Friday night.